A teacher uses Twitter in the classroom.
Don't forget, you register today.
And it might be a wet night for football.
All today on the Air.
I'm your host, Nate Trawick.
And I'm your co-host, Joey Carr.
Phones are usually not allowed in enrichment classrooms, but one teacher is changing that and doing something different.
Have you ever been in trouble for using Twitter in class? Well, here at RHS, a teacher has been using Twitter in her class.
The very first thing that I did was teach the students how to set up an account on Twitter. I found that only about half my students had used Twitter before, so that we had to start with the basics. And even the students who had used Twitter before, I didn't want them to use the account they used to connect with friends, because this is about learning how to use Twitter professionally and build a professional learning community on Twitter. So even the kids that had a Twitter made a new account, and I taught them how to set up a username. They had to make sure it was appropriate and create a bio for themselves, add a picture of themselves. And in their bio, most of the students included that they are PLTW biomedical science students, because that's who we're trying to connect with and build relationships with on Twitter. So now that the kids have become familiar with Twitter and we've been using it in class, we use it on a fairly regular basis. We had presentations the other day, and I asked the students to tweet at the presenter what they got out of the presentation. So I find it's a really nice way for us to engage each other, but we're also now using it to communicate with other schools. So we have 9 other Project Lead the Way biomedical programs that are going to participate in something called Biomedical Sciences Connect, and we tweet at each other using the hashtag BMS Connect. And so far it's been really neat to see the kids tweeting to the students in this other school, which is out in Washington, but they're tweeting pictures of what we're doing in class, they're asking each other questions, they're comparing lab results. And so that's been really neat to see the way they're engaging with other students. And we only have one other school that's jumped on so far, but as the other schools add in, I think it's going to be a really rich experience to learn from these other people.
I'm Jesse Moorfield. Back to you guys in the studio.
The Register wants you to remember how to get your school newspaper.
I just want to let everyone know that we have our second issue of the Register out today. So I want to make sure everyone picks it up. They're free copies throughout the school. And you can find those outside the main office. There's one in the cafeteria, and there's one outside the cafeteria by the vending machines, and there's one upstairs outside the attendance office.
Make sure you look for the second edition of this year's Register today.
It's time to meet another new teacher at RHS.
Well, I looked at the Indiana DOE website. There's a cool website that tells you all of the jobs you're going to get, and then I applied for them. Is basically what happened. But I was trying to move closer to Chicago. Didn't really work out, and so here I am. I think my favorite part about teaching is that I get to meet a lot of different people. It's kind of exciting to meet a bunch of students and to have new experiences. And I'm from a really big city, so moving to Richmond has been kind of exciting. It's much smaller. You run into people at the grocery store, and it's a little odd, but I'm enjoying it.
If you're headed out for the game tonight at Huntington North, Hannah tells us how you might want to take an umbrella.
That's right. By kickoff tonight, there could be some thunderstorms in the Huntington North area. If you're heading to the game, keep an eye out and be ready for rain and delays. For us, the rain won't get here until late tonight. We'll see high temperatures and high humidity today before the rain moves through. After the front passes through later tonight, things really cool off for tomorrow, as highs will only hit the low 70s with cloudy skies. For Sunday, it will stay cool, but the sun will come back, and next week looks like a great weather as we come back to school. That's your weather. Have a great weekend.
The outing club's first meeting sign-ups for the annual youth summit, and it's time to think about joining our chapter of BPA. Let's check in with Adrian for the announcements.
The new RHS Outing Club will hold their first meeting next week on Thursday, September 11th. If you are interested in outdoor activities like backpacking, hiking, canoeing, and more, come to the meeting after school in Mrs. Strand's room, R135. Youth as Resources will host their Youth Summit on Saturday, September 27th at IU East. Learn how to make a positive impact in the world Apply online at yarwayne.org. The registration deadline is next Friday, so get signed up now. Any student interested in being a part of BPA, the Business Professionals of America, there will be a call-out meeting next Monday, September 8th, right after school in Mrs. Witham's room, C215. Last year, several people competed in national contests in Indy. This year, the goal is to send even more to nationals in Anaheim, California. Be there on Monday to find out more. Information is now available for the Wells Scholarship to IU Bloomington. This is a full-ride scholarship that pays tuition, fees, and living expenses for all 4 years. If you're interested in finding out more and getting an application, see Mrs. Porter. It's time to think about signing up for driver's education. There will be a mandatory meeting for you and your parents on September 16th at 5:30 p.m. in the cafeteria. Registration forms are available in the main office. Cost is $390 and classes start on Monday, September 29th at 6 p.m. And as we close out today, it's time to sign up for Rule of the Road 2014, sponsored by SADD, Students Against Drunk Driving. Rule of the Road offers students who are driving or hold a permit the chance to experience and learn about a wide range of driving experiences. You can drive with drunk goggles, experience what it's like to be in a car crash, and learn more about cars and more. See Mrs. Yates in the attendance office on the second floor to pick up a registration packet. Remember, today's the last day to get your permission slips turned in for the Ball State or IUPUI trips. Those going to Ball State should turn theirs in to Mrs. Hellrung, and those going to IUPUI need to turn them in to Mrs. Weir. That's your announcements. Now back to you guys.
Lots going on here at RHS, but last night there was only one sporting event, and that was tennis. Alan Michael has more in the sports report.
That's right, only tennis last night, and it was close contest, but RHS fell to Muncie. The Red Devils rearranged their lineup to try and get an advantage against the Bearcats. It almost worked. RHS swept both double matches after moving their number 2 and number 3 single players to number 1 doubles. It came down to the match between the number 1 singles, where RHS was confident they had a chance with Eric Hollingsworth. But the Muncie number 1 outlasted Eric in the heat to get the number 2 ranked Bearcats a 3-1 win. If you're looking for more sports, there's plenty to watch this weekend. You can head north to watch the Red Devils take on the Vikings as we play our last game against Huntington North. This is the last year for the Vikings in the NCC. Also on Saturday, both boys and girls soccer are at the Hoosier Cup in Bloomington. Cross country travels to Marion, volleyball is at Muncie, and at home you can come out to watch the JV and freshman football versus Huntington North. And tennis hosts the Richmond Invitational starting at 9 a.m. That's a look at sports. Have a great weekend.
Too bad our tennis team didn't get the win, but maybe they can bounce back and win their invitation here at home tomorrow. That's our show. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday.